Girl, we know. We had open minds. Hi guys, and welcome to Music by Mads episode 2. Yay! Today we're talking about the life of a showgirl by Taylor Swift. Is it glam or a sham? So we're going to get into that. Full disclosure, this is the third time I have started recording. We have had some technical difficulties today. So if I seem a little lifeless, that's why. It's because I did 47 minutes of recording. And then the audio was crappy because it was the wrong input. For whatever reason. We don't know why. We thought we set it to be correct. It was a goof. And then the next one, there was no audio at all. But I only got 2 minutes into that. So yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good now. The audio is going through. Okay, so the announcement, build-up, and press is what we're going to talk about first. And before we do that, actually, I must draw your attention to my door. You probably already noticed it, but I got decorations. So I'm very, very excited about them. These are 12 of my favorite albums. There's one EP in that 12. We've talked about a lot of them, truthfully. We've talked about some of them. You'll figure it out. Anyway, so the announcement, press, and build-up. That's what we're going to talk about first with the life of a showgirl. I loved the New Heights announcement. So it started with a post from New Heights, just like, oh, we're having a guest. It was the silhouette of a woman. People very quickly figured out it was Taylor Swift. Found the exact picture, figured it out. Just from the silhouette. Wild. And then, plus the background was orange, and orange had been showing up for a lot of things, so we were like, oh, it's Taylor Swift. Very cool. Then we got a reel announcing it was officially Taylor Swift. And then we got another reel announcing the album. No album art, no track list, no anything. We just got to see the little briefcase she had and her pulling out the vinyl. Blurred out, obviously. Because then on the New Heights podcast, at the very end of the 2-hour episode, was the actual announcement. They went through the track list, they went through everything. I thought it was a very cool way for her to announce an album. A very special way for her to announce an album. Because she had just had so much control over what was going on with the podcast. Like, she could just be herself, because she was in a safe environment with people she trusted. Like, she trusts, and I just thought it was really special. They talked about the Eras tour. They spent 20 minutes talking about sourdough bread. It was awesome. Sourdough bread's great. So, can't blame her. I enjoyed it a lot. You're going to find this really funny. I'm not a podcast listener. I have a really hard time paying attention to podcasts, and I was sat for that whole 2 hours. I was having a great time. Then we go to the Spotify record that she has now. Over 6 million pre-saves in the 2-ish months between announcement and release, which is a Spotify record now. That is the most amount of pre-saves anyone's ever gotten, which I think is such a cool record to have. Nobody has that. Well, somebody had that before. Now she has it. And then she sold 4 million copies in a week, which I think is her biggest debut ever. So, exciting things for this album. I have some gripes with people because it happens every album. There's always a very loud, it's not even a large chunk of people, it's just a loud chunk of people who were very vocal about how the album sucked and how terrible it was and how much they hated it and how much, the whole thing, the whole spiel. It happens every single album, and then 2 weeks later, they're like, actually, this is a great album. Girl, we know. We had open minds the first time around. I've been very judgy about it, and I probably shouldn't be. And I don't care right now. Because if you're expecting an album to be absolutely groundbreaking, then you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Albums can be groundbreaking, they can be like exceptional and they can be revolutionary and like innovative. But if you're expecting it to be, it won't be in any way, shape, or form because your expectations will take over what's actually happening. I think it's ridiculous every single time when it happens. Like, do we not learn? People also act like her entire discography doesn't exist when a new album comes out. I'm like, if you want folklore, go listen to folklore. I can look it up on Spotify for you right now. It's still there. It is still there. Anyways, I have beef with those people right now. And I'm trying not to be a judgy person, but I'm being a judgy person about it because, yeah. Okay. So now we get to talk about the press tour. Because that's next. This is the biggest press tour she has done since Lover. Which, for context, that's 4.5, we'll say 5 albums, including the anthology, in between Lover and The Life of a Showgirl. Not including Lover, not including The Life of a Showgirl. In between. Folklore, Evermore, Midnights, Tortured Poets, and the anthology, since that's a double album. This is the biggest press tour she's done in 5 albums. That would kill any other artist. That would absolutely kill any other artist. And their streaming numbers, and their copies sold, and all of that. It's baffling. It's insane, the success she has reached. Like, baffling. It's so impressive. But, she's had a Spotify experience to start out. I love Spotify experiences. If I'm in town, like in any of those places where they happen, when they are happening, I will probably go see, because they're so fascinating. The pictures were stunning from the experience. I loved how she revealed some of the lyrics and like the cool one-line like things from the album. Just very fun theming, like decorations were great. They know how to put on an experience. They're always very well done. Then we had the Graham Norton show, Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers. People thought she was going to do SNL. She did not do SNL. And then her movie, her release movie, which was topping the movie charts. Is that what they're called? I don't know if they're called the movie charts, but they're the movie charts on this podcast. They were topping the movie charts. She is like the first person to have an experience like this, like #1 album, #1 song, and #1 movie all at the same time for the same thing. That's also an incredible record to have. Part of that theater experience was the premiere of the Fate of Ophelia music video, which I'll talk more about when I talk about Fate of Ophelia. I didn't get to go. I'm saving money. We're doing it. I almost drove to Target and bought the Target edition because she's still under contract with Target for vinyls, so they had a Target edition. I almost went and bought it. I almost did. But I didn't. So be proud of me. I'm asking for praise, obviously. Yeah, we're being a responsible college student in my last semester. So from the Target, let's jump off to In Defense of the Variants. I know there's a lot. And I did tire out from the countdowns a little bit. I don't think we needed a countdown for every single thing. And I do think if we did want to do a countdown, we should have just dropped it all at the same time. Because it would have been perfect. It just would have been it could have been really well done in that way. It didn't just have to be well done in the way she did it. I don't think there's anything wrong with her marketing strategy either. That's my personal preference. People get really offended that she makes variants for her albums. But let me tell you, she's not forcing you to buy them. She's not. Hate to break it to you. She's not forcing people to buy them. She's not even forcing you to like them. So many artists do that. 21 Pilots literally just had 21 variants for their album. I may disagree with the way she rolls them out, but it's not a crime to have so many variants. And, stepping off of that, how many of your favorite artists have a side gig? Especially our lovely pop girlies. Ariana Grande and Sabrina Carpenter both have perfume lines. Like, you can go to Walmart right now and buy some Sweet Tooth by Sabrina Carpenter. Rihanna has like, I mean, music is her side gig at this point. She has like 7 other businesses with her makeup line, with her like all of the things. There's so many things that Rihanna's doing other than music. Girl will not release an album to save her life. Most every other pop girly has a side gig, and Taylor Swift does not. She makes her money off of her music and her merch alone, which is very impressive. And her tours, obviously. But that's under music. I mean, she did have a perfume back in Speak Now, but that was when she was under contract with Big Machine Records. So it's very likely that she didn't necessarily have control over it. I'm sure she was enthusiastic about it. Apparently it smelled delicious. I mean, it's a collector's item now, but it's not. It's a collector's item now. It's not like non-existent anymore. No one has it. Like, people are reselling it, and that's why it's a collector's item. So that's my spiel about Variants. She's a business. Like, she's not just a person, she's a business. So she can't just sit around and do nothing. If she wants to drop Variants, she'll drop Variants. And truthfully, they're very tastefully done, and she gets to use all of her pictures from her photo shoots. So that's exciting. That's exciting. I would want to use all my pictures. That is my spiel on Variants. Shall we kick it off for the actual album? All right. The Fate of Ophelia. I was very surprised, very pleasantly surprised, I should say, that this was a love song. I didn't know what to expect. I was hoping it was going to be something happy, and it was. So I'm very, very, very pleased about that. But I did not expect it. It was very nice. I was nervous about the reverb when I started listening to it. I think it worked great for The Fate of Ophelia, but when that's the opening, so I was worried. I was like, oh, is this going to be the tone for the entire album? Because I don't prefer tons and tons of reverb on every single song. I think it could be done tastefully and in small spurts. And it was. It was mostly just on Fate of Ophelia, and I really appreciated that. It was a very dancey song. I enjoyed it, very upbeat, very happy. I was dancing around. I just had a great time listening to it. And then the music video, stunning. She's getting better and better as a director. And I know that's a direction she wants to keep moving in, because she's expressed that, and she keeps directing music videos, so obviously she wants to keep directing. I think she enjoys it. She's getting better and better. The choices she's made for how the music video is going to go, like, it's just stunning. And Mandy Moore's choreography was great. The little dance everybody's doing on Instagram and TikTok, like, so cute. I learned it. I'm probably going to do it for real for this episode. It's so fun. It's just like super simple. It's super cute. It was just stunning. The references, like, it was just there. The painting she referenced is not the painting everyone's sharing online. It's a different one. The painting she referenced for Ophelia right at the beginning is gorgeous. She looked so much like her 16-year-old self in that costume, that first costume specifically, with the like super light blonde hair. I saw a picture side by side and it was like crazy to see it. She still looks so young. It's so impressive. It was stunning. The Shakespearean references were 10 out of 10. She did a fantastic job with her lyrics, conveying that. People were complaining that the lyrics were too simple. I don't think we listened to the same album. I don't know what album they listened to, but the lyrics were wonderful. She had the Shakespearean lilt in the bridge, which she tried to make a little more Shakespeare, more modern-y Shakespeare, especially at the beginning of the bridge. And I think she did that very well, especially with that little lilting rhythm that Shakespeare has. I think there's many layers to it within the song itself, and then with the music video, there are more layers that are yet to be discovered, and I think it's just so wonderful. I'm really not going to go too in depth on lyrics for this episode. I might do that on a different episode, just talking specifically about lyrics. I just don't think it's needed. This is more about what I thought and some background, so you can have more thoughts about the album for you. It's a present. It's really just a present. So moving on to track 2, which is Elizabeth Taylor. And I vaguely knew who Elizabeth Taylor was before hearing the song. I did a little more research because I wanted to understand it more. So in case you don't know who Elizabeth Taylor was, she was an actor in the 50s she began as a child actor in the 40s. She was very famous. And one of the things she was most famous for was having 7 husbands. Who does that sound like? That sounds like Taylor Swift. Because what does the public judge her for? Having 12 boyfriends, 1 fiance, but 13 boyfriends. For most of her career. Which, she is almost 36. I think that's a pretty normal number to have. 13's not that many for the 20 years she's been in the spot. Like, it's really not that many. Also, no one remembers who the 7 husbands were. No one remembers no normal, like, average person remembers all 13 of the boyfriends. Like, the average person doesn't know that. So, like, what really matters is the person that we remember, obviously. Not that people don't matter, but the person who in this situation matters the most is obviously the person we remember the most. Because we would remember everybody else if it mattered that much to her career. But it matters, this judgment matters so much in the theming of the song because it's the other side of the coin for the blank space character. She has talked about in the past how the character she's portraying in blank space is not autobiographical. It's actually based on the narrative that has been, like, just the things that have been said about her, like that she's this vapid, jet-setting, crazy girlfriend that, like, goes through a guy a month. Like, that kind of crazy thing. And she wanted to play that character, and that's one of her biggest songs. And she's talked about how that wasn't so autobiographical. I'm sure there were elements to it that were autobiographical because when you're writing music, you really just put yourself into it. And she has shown that she puts herself into it like that. But I don't think it was that much. Yeah, so she's the Elizabeth Taylor is a foil of blank space. Because it's like, do you think it's forever? Is a lyric that gets repeated a lot. Like, oh, do you, like, we're together now, do you think it's gonna be forever? Like, I'm apparently this vapid, like, jet-setting girlfriend, so, like, do you think we're gonna last forever, kind of a thing. And it's a little bit about Travis, which I loved, because it is gonna be forever. I liked how the bridge melted, the words melted into another, just like with that melody. The beat drops scared the crap out of me. I was flabbergasted. My flabbers were gasted. And it like startled me a little bit. It was 10 p.m. when I was listening to the album, which isn't that late, but it's still a little later at night. It's dark. It's October. It's dark. So it was like startling. I really enjoy it. It feels like it could have been on Reputation. And that's my very disorganized take on Elizabeth Taylor. I really, really think, and this might just be a me thing, but I really think that this is a foil of the blank space character, which I love. That's a really interesting thing. And maybe it's just me overcomplicating it, but I like looking at it that way. So I'm going to look at it that way. Opalite. I loved this one. It's a Travis song. It's very happy. It's very excited. Like, we're going to be alright. We have each other. We're going to make our own, like, joy and stuff. Because Opalite is a man-made opal. Both her and her mom love Opalite. And then opal is Travis's birthstone. So it's, like, a really, like, fun mix of things. Just making a really, like, meaningful thing to her and her friends and family. I danced around to this song a lot. I still dance around to this song a lot. It's one of my favorites. I look forward to listening to every single time I listen to the album. And I love it. And I don't need to say much about it other than I love it. It's so cute. I love the 7th chord, building back up to the chorus after the bridge. Like, it's just, oh, that bridge too. The floating melody line for the bridge is just, it's so gorgeous when we've been having, like, these staccato-y melodies, and it's, like, staccato-y melodies and rhythmic things. Like, it's just, I love that it floats over everything, and it's just, like, ethereal, and it's just, like, you're swaying back and forth kind of a thing. Hopefully you enjoyed my little dancey dance. That's all I need to say on Opalite, because it's just good. It's a good song. It's a good pop jam. And it's so sweet. It's a really cute song. Track 4 is Father Figure, which I've been very excited to talk about, because it's the first of 3 interpolations, and this one was the most talked about before the album came out, because she's interpolating George Michael's Father Figure of the same name, obviously. It was honestly about what I expected for the interpolation, because it's on the chorus. It's just very similar melody lines and like kind of rhythmic things. Very tastefully done. And another cool thing about the interpolation is that there's needed context for this. I was gonna launch into something and then I was like, wait, doesn't make sense. Interpolation versus sampling. Sampling is when you take a part of the song directly and you put it in. Interpolation is when you reimagine it, but it's still close enough that you can say it was actually like inspired and like taken from the original song. So sampling, an example of sampling would be Please Don't Stop the Music by Rihanna is Wanna Be Starting Something is sampled heavily on that track, the Michael Jackson song. It is sampled heavily on that track, and you can hear it. But Father Figure, the melody is very similar, the rhythm's very similar, but it's not the same, and it's not taken from the master, which is the actual audio recording of the track, which is another cool thing. This is what I was going to originally talk about, but I needed the context first. She asked George Michael's estate for permission to interpolate rather than sample, because George Michael never owned his masters. What does that sound like for us Taylor Swift fans? That is the exact same thing that happened to Taylor Swift. She didn't own her masters for a long time. Now she does. Celebrations throughout the land. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I cried when that happened. I was so excited. And it's such a big deal in the music industry. Like, that pushes people in a much better direction to owning their music. And it's so important. And being a fan of Taylor Swift, it just hit me, because that's something she's been vocal about and that she's wanted for years now. So I actually cried. I wouldn't normally cry over like announcements like that, but that was a special one. But the same thing happened to George Michael, where he never owned his masters. I don't think his estate owns them now, but he owned the writing, which is the same case for Taylor, which means that she could do the Taylor's versions. That's why they could happen. It's because she owned the writing. And that's probably a big reason why she interpolated rather than sampled, so that the money would go directly to George Michael's estate. And I think that's really cool. That's a really perfect thing for her to do in this situation. For the song itself, now that I've talked about interpolation for a long time, I loved it. It's among my favorites. It is among my favorites. I laughed so hard during the chorus, and if you have listened to the song, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you need to go listen to it so you know, and you'll know. I don't need to tell you the lyric. I'm trying to keep things clean, especially since this is a school project. You'll know. Oh, you'll know. I thought it was very interesting the way she told the story during Father Figure, because this is a story. It is the story of Scott Borchetta and Scooter Braun and that whole situation. So she is actually starting in his perspective. It's not her perspective until after the bridge, which I'll go over. But it's this perspective, it's his perspective from when she was younger, when she was under that label, and how he was like, oh, like, I've got the power, I've got the money, like, don't worry about it, I'll take care of it, I'll protect the family, which in this case is her masters. So I'll protect the family, like, I'll keep it safe, we'll make you successful, we'll do a great job, you just won't be on top because I'll be on top. because that's an important thing. Like, they want you to rise, but they don't want you to reign, is a lyric on there. So, like, I'll be the one in power, but I'll lead you through everything, and I'll make sure everything's okay for you. And then during the bridge, it starts shifting perspective. It's kind of like line by line, I feel like, where it shifts. And they don't make loyalty like they used to, is the lyric. I feel like it really shifts, because it works for both characters in the song. It works for both of them. But that's the turning point for where it's for Taylor Swift's perspective. And then it's like, oh wait, actually I have the power now. I will protect the family, which is mine, because I bought it back. Because you don't have enough power to buy it back. It's not yours. I took away all of your power because I re-recorded, and those became wildly successful, so you couldn't get the royalties off of my music. I mean, it has a key change, which I love. I love heart hands every single time I mention a key change. I'm gonna forget so many times, but you can judge me for that and comment on it and stuff like that. Key change, and then it's like, whose portrait's on the mantle? Who covered up your scandals? Like, who did this for you? And you think you have the power now. Like, I'll protect the family. Leave it with me, because it's mine now, and it's not yours, and you don't have the power. It's just such a powerful way to talk about her getting her masters back. I think it's very interesting, and I loved that she started in his perspective to see what she kind of grew up with in the music industry, and then shifted it to like, oh, now it's me. Now it's me, and you suck. And I love that. And I love the way she did it, because it makes me giggle. It makes me giggle. You're gonna love it when you hear it. On to the next. Track 5 is Eldest Daughter, which I didn't like at first. It's still not one of my favorites on the album. I like it a lot better than I did first listen. I think I was riding the high of father figure, especially, and it just like completely threw me off, because it was piano ballad, very on the nose lyrics. People are criticizing it for being bad. It's just on the nose. Like, something can't be objectively bad when it's your opinion, because I've seen people who absolutely adore the song, and then people who are completely trashing it. They think it's cheap songwriting. They think she's fallen off. Those are the same people who come back to the album and are like, I love it, I love it, I love it. Which is valid. Like, you can come back and listen to it. Why we gotta criticize it, like, that much? Because the criticisms, air quotes criticisms, they weren't that valid. They were mostly opinions that people called criticisms. Because criticism is okay. Criticism is valid. You are allowed to criticize something. Just make sure it comes from a place of a well thought out criticism. Because emotion will always be a part of it. Emotion is good, but too much of it can cloud your judgment. So, anyways. I like it a lot more now. It is a little still on the nose for my taste. It's going to feel very outdated very soon, and that's the point. It's supposed to feel outdated because she's like, I'm not trying to be cool anymore, because it sucks trying to be cool. She uses like trolling and memes and then savage and fire. Like, she uses this outdated slang. It's not even that outdated, but it's still outdated already, because slang is always changing. She uses this outdated slang. And I think that's where people take the problem. It's a little heavy-handed, but it's got very big quotations around every single slang term. I did love Apathy is Hot. Like, sad as it seems, Apathy is Hot is such a good lyric. But it gets a little overshadowed by the fact that Trolling and Memes is the lyric right before that. Truthfully, the beginning is the only part where it's that heavy-handed on the slang. As you progress, the bridge is gorgeous. Like, I never thought I'd find that beautiful live, but she did. Like, it's very beautiful, and it's very personal, and her track 5s are her personal tracks. Like, those are the ones she feels are the most personal to her. So, it's a track 5 if she says it's a track 5. People try to argue that, but, like, if it's personal to her, like, you can't change that. Sucks to suck. But it is on the nose. It's heavy-handed on the nose. And it's not for everyone. And that's okay. It's not my favorite track 5. Delicate has my heart. It will probably never be unseated, so we can't say anything else is my favorite track 5, because Delicate it's my favorite. I love Delicate. Ruin the Friendship. I thought this was a Travis song until he died, and then I was confused, and then I found out later it's about Jeff Lang, who was a friend of hers in high school, who passed away. And so she is singing about that and how she had a crush on him in high school. Like, she's just kind of reminiscing and, like, looking back on her grief from when he passed away. That is also who Forever Winter is about, from Red Taylor's version. So, super sad. I love the groove of it. It is one of my least favorite. I feel like it doesn't quite fit the album, but it's on there for a reason. So, I can't argue that. That's not my decision, obviously. It's groovy, and then the sadness takes you back, because she mentions Abigail, and you're like, wait, what? And then you're like, oh no, he died. Oh no, like, it gets sad real fast, but it's like reminiscing on the grief that she felt, which I think is a very important thing to her, and that's why it's on the album. So, the next track 7, is actually romantic, and it's giving Mean Girls, like, it's like you're in love with me or something, like that whole thing. And apparently it's about Charlie XCX. That's what people are saying because of the Coke line. I think it's probably about multiple people, to be honest. I don't think it's about any one person, because there's references to things that other people have done that I've just seen floating around on Instagram. I don't look too much into backgrounds of songs unless I just stumble upon it. I think it's cool. It's just not my thing to, like, go, like, crazy. If it's, like, a literary reference or, like, a famous actor like Elizabeth Taylor or, like, in the Ophelia stuff, like, I'll look at that stuff, but when it's, like, people, like, celebrities now and, like, all that jazz, I'll figure it out from other people and their theories. And then if the artist says something, they say something. I like it a lot. I think it's gritty in the best, like, it's gritty and simple all in the best ways. I think it's very, very well done. Kind of rock feel, and I really want to hear more rock feel from Taylor Swift. I think her voice sounds very good. Electric Touch Electric Touch is featuring Fall Out Boy on Speak Now. Taylor's version is one of my favorite vault tracks. Truthfully, I really enjoy that one. I think she sounds very good on a rock sounding track. Haunted's also one of my favorites, so we've been knowing this for a long time. Wishlist is track 8. I did not expect... I thought the content from Father Figure was going to be the content of Wishlist, basically. It's not. This is actually a Travis song. And I love this one. I think it's so sweet. Like, she's just talking about how she wants to be with Travis forever and wants to start a family and settle down because that's what, like, because she loves him and that's what she wants to do. I think it's very, very, very sweet. People have been wild over this one, especially, like, in the last week. Like, the first time I recorded this, I danced around it a little more. I'm not going to dance around it. People are saying she's racist. And I fear we have lost reading comprehension. Because that is the reachiest reach I have ever seen. I can see where they're coming from, but it's like, I had to figure it out to see where they're coming from. Because there's a line in the chorus where she's like, have a couple kids, got the whole block looking like you. And everybody's like, she wants an all-white neighborhood. And I'm like, no, girl, she just wants to have children with her fiance who she loves and who loves her. Like, got the whole block looking like you, it just means she wants to have a gaggle of kids. That is one of the most tone-deaf takes I have ever seen in my entire life about a piece of music. It is not that deep. It is never that deep. She is very vocal of being on the opposite side of that. On, like she's very vocally not racist, not homophobic. Like, very, like, in support of so many things. She has a whole music video dedicated to being in support of people. And girl, what are we doing? Do we know how to read anymore? This one has made me, like, really angry, because what? Actually, it's not even angry, I'm just flabbergasted. Like, what? That's crazy. That is the craziest take. And people tried to do this with Tortured Poets as well, because they took something out of context, which was another on-the-nose lyric, because she's talking about being a kid. It's an I Hate It Here, is the song. She's talking about being a kid and playing a game where her and her friends would pick a decade that they'd want to go back in time and live in. Which I feel like was such a thing for kids to do, especially girls. Like, I feel like I did that with my friends occasionally. But she's talking about how she would pick the 1830s, but, like, as a kid she'd be like, oh, like, without all the racist people and, like, selling women off for the highest bid to get married off. And people took that line specifically, just that one line where she said that, and was like, oh my goodness, this is so racist and tone deaf of her, without looking at the rest of literally the next line, where she says, I'm gonna paraphrase, everyone looked down because it wasn't fun anymore. Because she brought the realism into it, and nostalgia's a mind trick. She's literally just saying that, like, it's fun to imagine when you don't bring the realism into it. And it wasn't, like, it was never fun because it was always real. It was always, the realism was always there. Nostalgia is just tricking them into thinking it was so amazing that it was, like, perfect. I don't know what to tell you. I think we've lost reading comprehension and media literacy. Because what? Like, literally, so the two lines, the two paired lines. Have a couple kids, got the whole block looking like you. We tell the world to leave us the F alone. And they do. Wow. They really leave us alone. Like, got me thinking about a driveway with a basketball hoop. Like, she's literally just talking about how she wants to have a family with this person she loves and adores, and who loves and adores her. I fear we have lost the plot. I don't know what else to say. Like, what? It just baffles me. It baffles me. Why? We're gonna be done because I'll just talk for 40 minutes on that alone. And it's gonna be the same thing over and over again because it's just like, what? Okay. We get to talk about another favorite. A great shift to Wood, which is a banger. Banger. Such a good song. I love it. This is another interpolation song of Jackson 5. I Want You Back. The guitar part is interpolated into the beginning. So if you heard that song and you were like, wow, that sounds like I Want You Back. Yes, it does. Good job. You know music. Proud of you. I love that song. I think it's, when taken at face value, it's very adorable. When not taken at face value, still awesome. Still rocks. It's about superstitions. That's what she said. So I'm gonna say it's about superstitions, just like Taylor Swift said. You can listen to the song and hear just how much about superstitions it is. A song called Wood. Yeah. You get it. It's so fun. It's the shortest song on the album too, which is a crime. The best ones always are. Such a fun, dancey song, just like excited. I will say my favorite line is, "Girls, I don't need to catch the bouquet because there's a hard rock on the way." Just love it. It just makes me happy because you can hear her joy and just hear how excited about everything she is, and I love that for her. I think that's such a special thing. I have to go back to wishlist because I forgot to say something. I am also married. I'm very happily married. I have found my forever person, and I agree with the sentiments of Wishlist. Like, I can feel the sentiments of Wishlist, where it's like, I want to be with you forever, and I want to have a family with you because I love you and you love me, and it's like, we just want to be together forever, and we're gonna do whatever we can to make it work. So, that is my perspective on it. And now we fast forward, past Wood, because we already talked about it, to Cancelled. So cinematic. It was like jarring how cinematic it was. It was beautiful, atmospheric, just dark pop, so Reputation. It's one of my favorite Taylor Swift albums. I love Reputation. And we need to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, who I only found out about because I was doing research for this episode. Eric Arvender. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name right. But he is apparently the king of strings and pop. He did the strings on all of this album. He's credited on multiple songs. You want to know what other songs he did? Only Angel, From the Dining Table, and Carolina by Harry Styles. By Ariana Grande. And then Father Figure and Elizabeth Taylor on this album. He's credited on many, many others, but those are just some of the most famous that I cherry-picked so that I could give examples. Incredible work, because I love all the strings. That sounded so sarcastic, I'm sorry. I love all of the strings on those songs. I think they're very well done and tasteful, and he's a fantastic string player. Good job. We love you, Eric Arvender. Yeah. Cancelled. A lot of the lyrics are also on the nose on this one, but I think it fits very well. It would fit on Reputation, because there's a lot of on the nose lyrics in there. I think that's a good way to describe Cancelled. Or I won't shout it because it'll blow my mic out a little bit, and I don't want to get up to shout it from back there. But it's in all caps with an exclamation point, so it's Cancelled. Honey. Honey is track 11. We're almost done. So sad. I loved that it was about redefining things that hurt you, like that were done to you by other people. I really love the bittersweetness of it, because it is a little sad at times, but it's also very happy. The bittersweet. First off, who is this woman? Like, I'm sorry. If your man is looking at somebody else and you don't like how they're looking at them, why are you telling the other woman off? It's not her fault that your man is making the decision to look at, like, girl, get after your mans. Get your mans. Super good, very danceable, just like, it's just a jam. It's like, you just like do a little shuffle to it. It's perfect. The Life of a Showgirl, track 12, and the last one, featuring Sabrina Carpenter. 10 out of 10 on the Showgirl vibes. This one's more about the show than any of the other songs have been, but it's still about the background, the behind the scenes of the show. Features a character called Kitty, who is the showgirl that they, like, looked up to. It's very... I love the switch up in the bridge, where they're... like, it feels more urgent and more like, I'm becoming a showgirl. And then in the last chorus, it's like, hey, like, thank you for the lovely bouquet. I'm the showgirl now. Very, very cool. I loved the verse key change, which is a very Sabrina Carpenter thing, to do, that she loves doing. She does it on Please, 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 Tears, Never Getting Laid. Like, so many of her songs have a different key for the verse and chorus, or one verse at a different key and then backed out. So I loved that they did that for her verse, because that just feels very her, and I think that's the point, is that it's supposed to feel like it's her as well. She sounded so good too. Sabrina Carpenter, she sounded so good. I loved her verse. I by the end I couldn't tell who was who. They were blending so well, which is a kudos to Max Martin and Shellback as well, because they mixed them very well. It was just solid. It was a great ending. I feel like it rounded out the album, and it made it feel like, yes, this was my life. This is my life as a showgirl. Really great. This is also an interpolation of Cool by the Jonas Brothers. So if you listen to that song and were like, this sounds like cool, it was purposeful. And now you know. And then, yeah, that's all my thoughts on The Life of a Showgirl, the album. So the big question, actually I should do my final thoughts first. Final thoughts. I think it fit the theme. I think it fit the theme very well. Some people have disagreed with me on that. They don't think it felt very showgirly. I think it did, because it was never supposed to be about the show. It was always about the girl and the life of the showgirl. The production, 10 out of 10. Max Martin and Shellback are insane. They're insane. They have some of my favorite pop songs were done by Max Martin and Shellback. Some of Taylor Swift's biggest pop hits were done by Max Martin and Shellback. Like, they did Shake It Off, they did Blank Space, they did Delicate, they did I Knew You Were Trouble. Like, they did some of her biggest hits from her career. So yeah. Is The Life of a Showgirl glam or a sham? I don't know if you could tell by the way I was talking about it. It's glam. It is so glam. Did we have any doubt that I was going to say it was glam? It's glam. Amazing. Would I say it's her, 100% best work she's ever made in her entire life? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. But it's a good piece of music. It's a good work. It's not, it doesn't need to be her best to be good. Okay. Here is my ranking of all of the songs. Yay! So tied in first are Opalite and Wood. We knew a little bit that those would be up in first. So third place, jumping straight down since we have a tie, is Father Figure. Really love Father Figure. The Fate of Ophelia. Cancelled. Number 6 is The Life of a Showgirl featuring Sabrina. 7 is Elizabeth Taylor. Then we got Wishlist. Actually Romantic. Honey. In 11th is Eldest Daughter, and then Ruin the Friendship is in 12th. The lowest ones are, it's not that I don't like them, it's that I like the others more. Really, it's not that deep for my ranking. It's gonna change a lot. It will change, because different seasons of life mean different favorite songs. That is it for this episode, except it is time for the songs of the day. So for this week, 7 songs of the day. Most of them are from The Life of a Showgirl. So first off, we've got Opalite. We've got Wood. Then we have George Michael's Father Figure. Banger of a song. If you haven't listened to it, you need to. Super good. Then the interpolation will also make more sense. The Fate of Ophelia. Taylor Swift's Father Figure. Then we've got When I'm With You by Ben Rector. I love that song. That one's really great. I think that's really underrated. And then New Year's Day by Taylor Swift, which is another underrated one. That's one of my favorites from Reputation. Hope you listen to it. I have updated the playlist, and I hope you go listen and enjoy those songs. So next week, here's our preview. I'm not gesturing to anything. The preview. I'm the preview. Spooky season. It is October, it is spooky season, which means we have to build a great Halloween playlist. Which means I gotta tell you about my favorite spooky songs. And I'll tell you right now, not all of them are what you would think would be Halloween songs. So I will see you guys next time for spooky season.